Oh, is this thing working? I mean, where are we at here?
I hope so.
How you doing, Miles?
I'm doing well. No complaints. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Living the dream, my friend. We're here live on Facebook. So gotta love it. Hopefully everything goes as planned here. I don't say the wrong thing because I can't delete it, yada, yada, yada. There we go. There's a little bit of a Seinfeld intro there. We'll come back to that. But um,
I'm just glad you took my advice and bought the new Mac behind you because that thing has been selling like hotcakes.
Absolutely, big time. The best thing about it is there's an IT complete hat on there.
Well, there you go. Nice plug. I like it.
There you go. So we're here because we want to talk about a very exciting event coming up, which is the Kaseya Connect 2023.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're going to be there, right?
Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be buying all your drinks. Yeah, I have to be there, right?
Exactly. You're going to be on stage as well, right?
I'm on stage, but I'm on stage in the last day, and I don't know if this was planned because I'm one of the last talks. So maybe they're like, Miles, you got to bring the energy because by Thursday people are tired. So I've got one of the last slots on Thursday. So hopefully you and everyone can come join us for the last day festivities.
Yeah, that's a great testament to, you being the rile people up type person, right?
For sure. The Bruce Buffer of the company. We'll go with that.
Right. That's awesome. So tell me, when is the event coming up? It's okay. You'll be here before we know it, right?
Yeah. So we're about 3.5 weeks away. It actually feels so far away to me because I'm traveling next week. I'm doing a big event just outside of Calgary here in Canada. Then I fly directly to Toronto to our Datto office. Then I come back. Then I fly to Germany. Then I'll be in Italy emceeing a wedding. Then I'm back for Connect. So it is only 3.5 weeks away, but in Miles' years, that's like 3 years away for me. So
that's a busy schedule, man.
Yeah, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. I'm taking my my little guy to Europe for the first time, so hopefully he likes the pasta and the pizza in Italy. That's for sure. So,
awesome.
But yeah, we're looking at the 24th to the 27th of April, MGM Grand, Las Vegas. That's where we've held the last one or two of them. There's some great restaurants in there, some great bars. I've got a couple tips as well for anyone who's listening for some hacks that they're gonna like when I dive into it about the hotel. What's good to get, what's not good to get.
That's awesome. Always like to have those pro tips,
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the speakers. Anybody anybody notable that will be there that we all might have heard of before?
Well, obviously we're gonna have all of our keynotes are going to be, from the C-suite from our company, but we have speakers from all over from, Fred Vacola, who's our CEO. We have got people all over the Datto space. We have thought leaders in the industry. We have product managers. We've got celebrities in their own right, like Dan Tomaszewski, not you, the other Dan Tomaszewski.
The other one.
Exactly. We've got Dana Lydholm, Danny Jenkins, good old Ted Roller, one of my favorite people. You probably spent time with Eric Torres. We got Eric coming, Gary Pica, our CISO, Jason Manar. I'm just going through the list. We got Jim Jessup, a good friend of mine from QuickPass, Jim Lippy, Joe Noonan. I mean, I could keep talking, and I'll be talking on the last day as well.
Last but not least.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's awesome. Certainly, that's a huge lineup. I mean, that's a very large lineup of speakers. That's very cool, and a lot of industry experts, just veterans, or some might be considered dinosaurs in industry. But now,
you know what? I hope they don't hear that because I'm
exactly.
We got my boss Michael De Palma, Michael Crean, a good friend of mine from Solutions Granted, Mike Julia. I mean, we could go Kathy Wagner, Miguel Lopez. Like, I'm going down this list. Nadir Merchant. We have so many people. Tim Coach, a good buddy of mine. So there's a lot of people coming. And I mean, we also have one or two keynotes. I can give away one keynote if you allow me, of course.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, are you going to give the listeners any tips on how they might be able to guess who this is?
Yeah, so let's see here.
One of your favorite TV shows he was on?
I was in the pool. I was in the pool. It was cold.
So we're not talking about you in shrinkage here, but yes, we have the one, the only Jason Alexander, aka George Costanza, as
Oh,
one of
that
our
is so
keynotes.
awesome.
That's going
That
to be
is
on
huge.
Wednesday. So I'm going to coin it Wacky Wednesday because you never know what you're going to get with Jason.
Right, absolutely. And I'm a huge Seinfeld fan, so I tell you, I'm really looking forward to that. So to help me fall asleep, I typically will either throw on Friends or Seinfeld, and Seinfeld just it rocks. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many phrases that have come from there. There's so many things like, in fact, I threw out the yada 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 earlier, and just I catch myself saying that a lot. But that's
for
huge.
sure.
That's very and
Yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I mean, I know I've seen Jerry. I say Jerry like I'm on a first name basis. I've seen Seinfeld
oh, you're
several
buds with
times
him.
live, and I've
Yeah,
never seen Jason live. And I know over the past couple years, one year we had Nick Offerman, who's one of my favorite shows, which is Parks and Rec. If you don't watch it, there's a great show right there, and it's not that well known, to be honest. So
yeah.
he was our keynote about a year and a half ago, and I got to chat with him and gave him a nice bottle of whiskey and some bacon flavored Canadian
Oh,
potato chips.
that's
And then
awesome.
this past year we had Frank Abagnale, who is the inspiration behind Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Catch Me If You Can, and his session was so unbelievable. And he basically said if he was running crimes today, his life would be so much easier because it's so much easier to commit crimes like he did back then if he was doing that today. And so I'm so excited to see Jason talk.
Exactly. Now that would be a great. Hopefully, you'll get a photo op. So hopefully we'll
I
see
mean,
Miles.
I mean, his people are probably reaching out to my people as they're watching this live.
I'm
And I mean,
sure.
you know what? If I have to, break bread with him, maybe split a marble rye, I'm totally fine with doing that.
That
So I had to throw that in. That was too easy.
was a good
You gave me
one.
that.
I
You
love
gave me
it.
that when I hit it out.
That's awesome. So tell me this: who should attend? Because a lot of conferences are typically geared towards MSP owners, but a lot of times people that are left behind are the people that are doing all the day-to-day work. The technicians or account managers, sales reps. Is this kind of a good fit to bring other people within your organization?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a great incentive as well for a lot of the MSP owners out there or business leaders. If they can't make it, send your tech guys, send your developer, because there's going to be so many suppliers there. So that's one of the great things you can do is you can send your team here and you can obviously come and hear what's the newest, greatest products in the industry. Our corporate sponsor is ThreatLocker. Our diamond sponsor is Bitdefender and QuickPass. We have so many other platinum sponsors. I could go through that list. I'll send you a link and you can post it, but we
Yeah,
have so many different sponsors that are there from all different parts of the IT space. And you're definitely going to learn something. You're going to learn about a new product or a new solution that'll help your business. And of course, at nighttime, we have stuff planned for you. You're going to have some good food, some good drinks. You're going to get to meet the C-suite. You're going to have a great time and you're going to get some good swag. I have to say, this was our shirt that I love that says
that's
Rocket
awesome.
or Rock IT, depending on, what you
Yeah,
think. But this was from one of our I think it was our last show or the second to last show. And it was such a great experience for everybody who was there.
that's cool. Gotta love the swag.
And you will come home, like bring another bag, Dan, because you're gonna come
Yes.
home with like a bag full of t-shirts, of mugs, of stuff you can actually use in your business.
That is cool. So actually, let me ask this. So it's a Kaseya event, but if I'm not a Kaseya partner, which I am, but if there are any MSPs out there that aren't a Kaseya partner, does that mean that this isn't for them, or is this something that they could still benefit from?
Yeah, they can still benefit because there's going to be so many solutions and partners that they work with there. So, I mean, you might not be a Kaseya partner, but you are a partner with somebody else there. Like whether it's, I'm looking at some of our silver sponsors, Nerdio, Blackpoint, Zorus, Crewwho. Then we go to the bronze sponsors with Devolutions, Big Leaf, CompTIA, and some of our platinum sponsors like Galactic Advisors, MSP 360, Dell Technologies, SureWeb, PIA. There's so many companies there. You're gonna do some work with some of them, and if you don't, I don't know how you're getting your business by, because this is
Right.
really the who's who of the industry that's going to be there.
That's awesome. So, I guess the one thing I want to jump back into is the venue. We're talking about the MGM Grand, which is an incredible place for a conference. I've been there many times for events. But there's so much entertainment going on, like you said. Not only entertainment that you guys are going to be putting on, but also other entertainment that's just, I mean, you can't be bored in Las Vegas. There's so much to do. So let's hear some of those pro tips that you have for us.
Okay, so my one pro tip, I'll only give you one right here. We'll maybe give you another one later, but there is one of my favorite restaurants is Wolfgang Puck's restaurant, which is actually in the MGM Grand. And I know I was there in December, and we went out with some clients. We were having a great time. And as you know, things in Vegas are, slightly more expensive than, where you are in Michigan, and definitely more expensive where I am here in Vancouver. And, we were like, will we actually find anything that's, a reasonable deal or a good hack? And Wolfgang Puck's restaurant, if you go in, you can make a reservation, either early or late. And they have bottomless beer at the restaurant, which is in really small print. I can't remember if it's $30 or $35 for bottomless beer. So you go for a meal, and one beer is like $15 to $18. So, I mean, I've had drinks with you before, Dan. If you can drink 2 beers, you're basically making your money back. And
absolutely,
it was good beer too. So like, I think I was drinking some Mexican beer. It wasn't Pacifico, but maybe it was Tecate, and it was great. And I was like, this is the one hack I want to leave with everyone. Get to Wolfgang Puck's restaurant and do the bottomless beer. Order an appy or two, and you're golden.
You could cover the cost of your travel just by saving money on your beer.
Exactly. That's awesome. And at the end of the day, you find me, you find yourself, we're going to be buying some beers there. And each night there's usually something planned. And so you're going to have long nights. We try to get the parties, shutting down between 11 and 12, because they are long days. You're typically there having breakfast between 7:30 and 8, but there's events at night, and there's something for everybody. I know the pavilion, the vendor hall is a great spot to obviously meet other suppliers, but there's a lot of fun going to be had there. And we've got some little tricks up our sleeves as well, which you guys are all going to love, I think. And is this your second or third one?
Second. So I am very excited. Like I said, I just love the venue, the lineup of speakers that you have. I'll just say I'm geeked, right? I mean, I'm not a geek, but I am a geek, but I'm geeked.
and if on the first day, April 24th, we have something new here called the GlueX experience, which is for people who use IT Glue but want to get more out of the product. And this is really neat because we brought in some expert speakers. I know Nadir's going to be there. I've got a couple friends from the IT Glue team, and it's a great way to really ramp up your business and make sure all the ins and outs of what IT Glue does. And obviously, there's going to be a big focus on M&A as well.
Awesome. That's so good. I do have a couple more questions for you. I know you have a jam-packed schedule because you're ruling the world, and you're putting everything together, and you've got all kinds of stuff on your plate. So I'll be real quick here. But besides this event, do you have any other things coming up that we should hear about?
Well, first of all, I actually spoke at the. Let me make sure I get this right, because we've slightly rebranded, and I want to make sure I get the exact title right. So, okay, here we go. Kaseya Connect Global, what we've been talking about in Vegas. Kaseya DattoCon Europe is coming up in June, as well as Kaseya DattoCon Asia Pacific is coming up in November in Sydney. I'm not sure if I'm going to be heading to Dublin this year. Dublin is one of my favorite cities in Europe. I mean, if we want to state the obvious, the Guinness Brewery is one of those experiences that everyone has to do in their life. And of course,
Yeah.
we've rented out the Guinness Brewery for part of the event, which is going to be a super
Oh,
exciting
wow.
night there. Dublin, Irish people, no matter where you meet them, if they're Irish Canadian, Irish American, they're some of the friendliest people you'll meet anywhere in the world. And I was blown away by the friendliness I had when I was in Dublin, my first time there. So that is DattoCon in Europe. And I say, if you're an MSP leader, you know what? Maybe you send a couple of your developers, your tech team to Kaseya Connect Global in Vegas, and maybe take the family, go to Dublin, write
Yeah.
this flight off as a trip for yourself, and spend a few days after cruising around the Dublin coast.
That's all. And you know what? I'm gonna throw out something here that you didn't know about Dan Tomaszewski. I have, other than Canada and Mexico, I have never been to any other country. And I've spoken to many other MSPs that are in the same boat. What a perfect opportunity to be able to say, I went to Dublin, right?
Well,
Not
that's the
only
thing.
went there for an event and learned, but I also got to see the world. And
Totally. I,
yeah,
I I
that's
totally
perfect.
agree. I mean, first of all, I'm shocked. Mexico and Canada. Okay, we have to get you coming to one of our other shows. I know I flew
Yes.
down to Sydney, and I did a couple talks in July at the Kaseya DattoCon this past year. And you're right in the main area of Sydney. Like, we were like a 15-minute walk from the Opera House, which is one of the most famous sites. The ferry was right there. We took the ferry to all the little beaches. I mean, I've lived in Australia when I was younger, so it's like a second home to me. I got a lot of family there, so I'm hoping to get there in November. But Dublin, I mean, I was born in southern England, so this is just a hop over the water to get to London for
Yeah.
me. So turn it into a Europe trip. I mean, June is the perfect time. July and August are peak season. June is just when it's starting to get busy. Not like, you couldn't find a better time to be in Europe. And Dan, we got to get you over to one of these shows.
Yes, that is perfect. So one last thing for you.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people are asking, okay, so how much is this going to cost? And and I really shouldn't say cost, because it's really an
sure.
investment. When you take a look at going to say a Connect Global 2023, you are making an investment into your business. So tell me a little bit more.
Okay. Well, price wise, you can hop on the website and see the price. I have a 40% off for Connect Global tickets.
Nice.
And you just put in the code Big B, Big D 40 off. So BD 40 off. We will throw that in the chat. So if you actually click on the ticket site, you go through, and at the end you can put in that promo code to get 40% off for Connect Global tickets. I don't know how many hotel rooms are left. I know we probably had about 100 hotel rooms left about a week ago. Hopefully you guys all have your hotel rooms already, because you don't want to be in some Motel 6 out in Henderson. You want to be in the heart of it. You want to be able to stumble home. You want to be able to walk back to your room. The nice thing as well, Dan, we were talking earlier, this is a great conference if you want to get your steps in. I was getting 20 to 25,000 steps in every day at this conference. So it's going to be
Yeah.
warm. I know it's end of April, so we're probably looking at the 90s temperature wise, or if you're in
Yeah.
Canada, late 20s, early 30s. But yeah, I think last year it was like 90s. Even we cracked 100 a few times. So it's going to be warm, but you're mostly inside. You're mostly
Yeah.
inside. Unless you get invited to like one of the events. I know last year there's a few events at Top Golf which were going on after hours. So, you really don't have to leave the property unless you just want a little bit of fresh air. But hopefully you guys will take us up on that 40% off deal for tickets.
That's awesome, and thank you very much for offering that. What better way? What more do you need to say I'm going than the fact that now, besides all the great content, great venue, but 40% off? That's cool.
For sure.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Well, I know you're busy, man. You always got lots of going on, and we covered a lot today. I'm really looking forward to the event. I'm looking forward to be able to see you there, my friend. And so it's going to be coming up before we know it. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What, do you know when you get in yet?
I do not know, but I'll shoot you a message as soon as I know that information. So
Yeah, I want to have the red carpet waiting at the airport, right? Just to pick you up, right?
yes, Exactly. So in the chat, we do have a link to be able to go learn more information and also to register. And also I've thrown in the discount code into the chat as well, right in Facebook Live. With that being said, Miles, again, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Everybody out there in Facebook land, hope to see you all in Vegas next month on April 24th through the 27th. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Miles.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, everybody.